Welcome to Country Kickback, where you'll hear the latest music from performers you already know and discover new music and artists from around the world. If you have an artist you'd like us to chat with, reach out to the team at countrykickback.com, or you can watch our live videos and more by following us on social media and YouTube. Here is your host, Danni Shaw, with the latest from Country Kickback.
Hello. Hi, Kaz, you're first in the room tonight. How are you? It feels like it's been a while since I spoke to you. I don't know why, but it's been a long week. Tell us what you've been up to this weekend. We had music all weekend down here, which was great fun. We had the Viper Creek Band, Josh Setterfield. Who else did we have? We had Catherine Britt, Andrew Swift. So it was lots of fun and lots of driving and a lot of fun with a lot of people. And I got to meet a lot of you guys that tune in each week. So it was lots of fun. Pop in the comments if we got photos or videos. Pop them in the comments and tell us what you thought of the weekend. And if you weren't there and you were another show, pop that in. Don't know why that did that, but anyway, we're here. We've got Courtney Keil joining us. Finally, she's got her new song out. It's been out for a little bit now. If you heard it, and if not, pick it up when we finish here. We're going to welcome her into the room. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
It's jumping around a bit. I don't know.
I know. That's what just happened. Yeah. If you
I feel like it's always when I'm on.
You guys are having trouble seeing us, let us know.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm doing that. I've just turned off the Wi-Fi from my phone in case that was interfering, but it doesn't normally.
Oh, that's better. All of a sudden. I don't know. Why is it? I feel like it's always when I'm on. I think I come with the internet.
We do aim it at you. I don't know why. And yet it's not storming tonight.
It's so nice to be here.
It's so lovely to finally have you. Tell us about your latest single, because it's a little while that it's been out, and I've heard it on radio a lot, so it's obviously getting a lot of play for a lot of people out there. And Chris said it's glitching, but Kaz said it's got better now. So let us know if it does it again. Yes. Whew. Hopefully it's just an internet moment. Maybe it doesn't like the heat.
I think maybe it's too warm here on the Central Coast, and it's just having a moment.
It's teasing us that we're down here in the cold.
I know, exactly. This is what happens when we try to communicate, across states, across countries. There we go. Chris is saying it's got better. That's good. We're good.
It's better.
I think we're in the
Thank you, Chris. Thanks. Yes, we're back in business. Now, we've all been listening to your song on radio. Tell us a little bit about it, because it's called Always First, but whenever I hear it on radio, I think, it's my heart's always first. It always grabs me, and I don't know why. So tell us a little bit about it.
I'm glad. I'm so glad that you've been hearing it, and I'm just so thrilled that stations have been supporting it, and everyone's been so lovely. I guess I'm glad that it stands out to you as my heart's always first, because really that's what the whole song comes down to. And when we were writing it, the whole process of trying to work out what we wanted the story to be about was really just writing a song that sums me up as a person, and something that really feels authentic of how I live my life, and that comes down to that I really do try to live my life with my heart first, as the song says, for better or for usually worse, because it's one of those things that it can be not always a good thing, putting your heart first. You sometimes have to learn some hard lessons, but something that I guess I try to live my life that way, because I feel like I can't go too wrong if I'm doing what my heart's telling you. Doesn't mean my brain doesn't try to tell me other things.
That's right. I was about to say, it's sometimes we do that, and there's every other signal screaming at us that it's I don't know what's going on, but can you guys still hear us?
Hope so.
I think you can. It just looks like it's for some reason not on.
Hope so.
Anyway, I don't know what's going on. I think it's. Is it YouTube that might be having a problem, because the Facebook ones are all good. I think it might be the YouTube, which is interesting.
Yeses. We're getting yeses that they can hear us.
Yeah, you guys can all hear us. Awesome. Sorry for the people on YouTube, but I can post it there when we're finished. So either come across on Facebook if you're on there, and otherwise we'll post it again up on YouTube for you when we're finished, I promise.
You think by now, by the end of 2022, we'd be all set with our technologies, but it's always...
I think it's because it changes so much. I think that's the problem.
Yeah. It keeps us on our toes. That's for sure.
There we go. It should be fixed now because it's just asked me to fix it and it's worked. Great. Looking at me saying it was flashy. So sorry for the people on YouTube. It should let you watch it again properly.
Sorry, everyone.
Sorry. Oh, I don't know. You think in 2022, you're right. But I think because everything changes so much, and I find like you've got YouTube, then you've got YouTube Music, and you've got all these different things that you have to have.
Hard to keep up. It's really hard to keep up with all the platforms. Then once you add TikTok, Instagram, and everything into the mix, it's a lot.
How many do you have? Because I struggle to remember how many I've got.
Well, I've obviously got YouTube for my music videos and everything like that. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I am on TikTok. I wouldn't say that I'm an avid TikToker. You won't see me doing dances on TikTok, but I try to, whatever. If I'm putting something out on Instagram Reels, I'll put it on TikTok and vice versa.
Yes.
And, it's just another nice platform. But it's just so hard to keep up to date with them all. And
and you get messages from people.
Yeah,
and
it's great.
Messages from people, and it's just like, well, hang on. Where did they message me? Because now I have to remember where I got it to write back to them.
Yeah, but it is so nice. There's so many ways to be connecting with people, and I think that's, I guess, the best part about social media and all the different platforms is it's just more ways to connect with people. People to hear my music, to connect with shows coming up and things like that. There we go. Kaz is saying Central Coast doesn't have great internet, so obviously I've moved.
You have moved to the right area.
Yeah. Oops. It's obviously on me tonight.
It could be, but then I don't know. I've got, what is it? There's different speeds of the internet, isn't there? And I've got the middle one, and I was told because I live in a country town, I can't have the top one, and I live 10 minutes from the city. So that's a country town down here. So it's pretty crazy. 10 minutes to town. But okay, I'm in the country. We'll go with it.
Fair enough.
Always first. You're saying, your heart's always first, and you're right. A lot of us do live by our heart, and even though our brain does sometimes say don't, but I think you have to do it because it's one of those. If you don't try what you're really feeling, you never know, do you?
Oh, absolutely. I think if your heart's telling you one thing and you really feel that it's the right thing to do or the right pathway to go down, I think if you're going by your heart and kind of your heart and your gut, I think sometimes work in together and you're going down that way. At least if it doesn't necessarily work out how you think it will, at least you're going to learn something. That you've stuck to what you felt was right at the time, and I guess it's one of those things that if you learn a lesson, that's okay too, and sometimes that's what we need in life.
And I think that's a really important thing there too, because if it doesn't work, you learn a lesson, but it makes you stronger and it makes you who you are, whether it was good or bad. I think it shapes us. So
100%.
Go with the heart. Heart's always first. That's the way to go. Kaz said heart first always.
Absolutely.
Oh, and Chris said that he's on YouTube and that's streaming fine now. Fantastic. Thank you, Chris. Lovely. We will try next time we have Courtney on the show to have internet that's good. And in fact, next time we have her on the show, we might be lucky enough to be in person, maybe.
Ooh, now that could be good. Maybe at a little event called Tamworth. Is that what you're thinking?
Yes, that's what I was thinking. We might be lucky enough to be in the same place at once. Maybe.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? After a couple of years. Cool.
How are you going with that? Because a couple of years ago when we first had you on, it was right when you were going to come down here. You were on tour. Like you had hit that year pretty hard because you were going out with the Johnny Chass show. You were going out with your own music. And I know that you've had a couple of quiet years, but you were very clearly writing and busy. But how are you going with that all coming back? Because it must almost feel a bit overwhelming because you've kind of been thrown in the deep end of both sides of that career.
Definitely. I think the last few years have been very interesting in the sense there's been a lot of highs, a lot of lows. 1 minute it's on, 1 minute it's off. So it's really learning how to adapt to it all and just go with, if things are good, you just got to go with them and roll with it. And when there's the moments that are a little bit quieter, you just have to be okay to sit in those too and do what you can. And it's just nice that now, after the last little while of moments where there have been quieter times of, you know, whether it's working, recording, writing, or all of that side of things that you kind of do in the lead up to then getting to go on tour and do really fun shows and things like that. It's nice that that time spent in the quiet is starting to, you know, finally feels like it's paying off a little bit when you get to finally perform those songs you've written and get in the studio and record them and things like that. So it's definitely been a roller coaster. But I'm also at the same time really thrilled with everything that's happened in the last 2 years. I think coming into this to release my first single in August 2020, it was all such an unknown and everything was an unknown. COVID, you know, everything was up in the air. So I was like, well, why not release me and add that to the mix, you know? So it's definitely been a real amazing ride.
Between doing that, you know, like starting in 2020, so you kind of went straight into almost recording during lockdown. Has that changed now how you do it? Do you still do it the same way you did back then, or have you sort of gone down the path that people were doing before the COVID?
A little bit of a mixture. I still have been writing on Zoom a lot, so that's stuck because it's really nice to still be able to connect with people over in Nashville or wherever they are to be able to write without having to be in person. I think that's one thing that's been a real positive. But now living on the Central Coast, I'm only about a 6-minute drive to the studio, to Rod McCormack's studio. So it's really lovely that I can just pop in there whenever we need to, you know, record something or work on any little bits and pieces, you know, filming for Kicks Live or something like that. You know, it's nice we can do it in person, and it just makes life a lot easier. So I'm very lucky to be living so close to a beautiful studio too. So I think you take a little bit of what you've learned in the last few years, but it's nice to get back to some of your classic things of being face to face and studio doing all that fun stuff.
It's made it easier in a lot of ways, and also it means that you can you know how to get through now. If something goes wrong and you're not feeling 100%, there's other ways around it, and I think it's made us be able to do more and enjoy it. But I mean, how much cheaper is Zoom to go to Nashville?
A lot cheaper, I would say. A lot cheaper. So it's a lovely option. Obviously, I would love to be back in Nashville, you know, whenever I get the chance to be. But in the meantime, it's just really nice that we do have that option and we can stay connected and be able to write and see the people that we love over there that I haven't seen in a few years in real life, but at least we've got Zoom.
Yes. Oh, there's lots of comments coming in. So before we go, I might just jump on some of the comments. Here we go. So Kaz was there at the start, and we had Chris was saying all about our internet, and Jan said to say hello. I hope, is that come out? Jan, I hope you're feeling better. I know she was in hospital at the start of the week, so hopefully she's feeling a lot better now.
Hey, Shazza.
Shazza's there. Hi, Shazza. Thank you for joining. And Joe's there.
I know Patrick's there with Joe as well.
Yes.
Jonathan.
Loads of people. Kaz said to see you in Tamworth. And Ronnie's said there was a bit of a lag before we fixed it. Thank you. And he said it's all good now. Patrick said hi.
Hello.
There's lots of people popping in. Thank you for joining. Jonathan says hi. Lots of people. I know that I've missed some of the comments. If there's something I've missed, pop it in again and I'll see it as it comes through. Now, Courtney, I know you're sitting there thinking about doing a song for us, and we were talking about how you write songs and how you write a lot with Rod and how it unfolds. And I was going to ask you, when you were recording, do you play that before you go in? Are these things that you've written part of before you go into the studio with Rod or any of them, or do you go in there with a blank paper and come out?
Well, it's a little bit of a mixture. Sometimes we will just start completely fresh. Sometimes it's from scratch and, you know, we'll just kind of work off whatever comes to mind at the time. Other times, you know, I might have a little bit of an idea written on my phone or a little bit of a voice note and things like that. So it really just depends. Sometimes even before we do a write, Rod and I might have a phone call the day before, and he's like, oh, I'm kind of kicking around this idea. What do you think? And, you know, we sometimes will start from that, but other times it's just purely sitting there and we'll just have a conversation. And that's how Always First came about, is we were just kind of talking, and we got to Zoom with Sally Barris, who's a beautiful songwriter in Nashville, and we were all just chatting really, and the song came from that. So sometimes I feel like it's always good to go in prepared. I try to have an idea that I want to, you know, put forward as an option, but it doesn't mean it's always the thing that you end up writing. Sometimes it, you know, gives you an idea for something else, or you know, you kind of, the conversation moves along. But it's nice to have options if you want. It's because sometimes you go in and you go, oh, I don't know what to write about today. What am I feeling?
There'd be days where you just go, I can't think of anything.
Yeah. Sometimes I sit there blank. Like really, sometimes I sit there blank and my brain's like, oh, I don't know today. I'm not sure.
Let's just go for a walk instead. Yeah. Oh, dear. Now I know you said you're going to play a song, so I might give you the room to play a song, and then we'll come back in and we might talk about the video and what you've got coming up, and if you've got any plans for next year.
Absolutely. Well, let me grab my guitar.
Lovely.
I might give you a little play of Always First.
Thank you.
And,
well, I'll see you shortly.
All righty. Thanks, Danny. All righty. This is my new single, Always First, which is out now. And here it goes. I'm straighter than a level, more solid than a rock. The one that you can count on, truer than a clock. But deep inside of me, there's a battle you can't see. It's pulling me apart. My head is keeping my feet firmly on the ground. I'm the one you call on who never let you down. But it all comes undone with a new someone. There goes my heart. It wants to be the first responder, the one who set the beat, the first to feel the tingles. But my head is telling me, when in doubt, slow it down, work it out. For the thrill, then the rush, then the hurt. For better or for usually worse, my heart's always first. I've replayed every mistake, keeps me up at night. I pull myself thinking next time I'll get it right. It's look before you leap, I could do it in my sleep. It shouldn't be that hard. My head is saying, hold on, no need to move so fast. You can hurry, love, it's not the kind that lasts. You think by now I know to think before I go. But someone tell my heart, it wants to be the first responder, the one to set the beat, the first to feel the tingles. But my head is telling me, when in doubt, slow it down, work it out. Before the thrill, then the rush, then the hurt. For better or for usually worse, my heart's always first, always first. To take the leap, always first. To dive in deep, always first. To fall in pieces. It wants to be the first responder, the one to set the beat, first to feel the tingles. But my head is telling me, when in doubt, slow it down, work it out. For the thrill, then the rush, then the hurt. For better or for usually worse, it's a blessing and a curse. My heart's always first. My heart's always first. Always first. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for
There's
the love.
lots of people love hearts and people saying sounds great. Luckily, we got it. The sound all fixed.
Yeah, I hope the sound was okay and it wasn't lagging too much.
Good. It was great. I love this song, and I think it's lots of fun. Have you had a chance to get many reactions and things since it's been released?
Lots online, which is lovely. Everyone's been so nice sharing it and commenting and all of that stuff. I've got to play it a couple of times live. I had the pleasure this last weekend to open for the Whitlams here on the Central Coast, which was really awesome. It was so incredible, and getting to play the song there was really fun, because these days you really do have to take every chance you get to perform live and just enjoy every moment. So it's been very good. Thank you so much, everybody, for the lovely comments. They're so beautiful there.
It says, "Wow, amazing! Play it again."
Thank you.
Rose said awesome. Jan said awesome. So many beautiful comments. And it is so lovely to see you guys all supporting all of the artists, because I notice when I watch you on lives, a lot of people that support us, that we all support each other around. It's so lovely to see.
Absolutely.
Now, I know we've already been talking 20 minutes, but the film clip, tell us a bit about the film clip. Did you record it where you're living now? What was it, your idea to do it the way you did it? Who was creating?
It was so fun to do the video, and yes, it was up here on the Central Coast, and it was so wonderful to film at two beautiful locations. First, we went out to a venue called Yarramalong Farm Stays, which is a gorgeous wedding venue, event space, and it's the lovely shed that if you've seen the video, it's the metal shed that we were filming in, with the beautiful couches and things like that. It's just stunning. The first time I went there, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And it was just really lovely that they were willing to support an independent artist and said, well, we'd love for you to come film here. So I can't thank them enough. And then got to film on the Central Coast here at Erina. There's an amazing gin distillery, which was the second location.
Ooh, that would have been awful.
To their gin as well. It's very good. So delicious. They have Moore's gin, which is one of my personal favorites. And because I visited there a couple of times, I thought, well, it'd be a great place to film. And they also were lovely. And said, yeah, of course, come film. So I got to work with Jeremy from Eyes and Ears Creative. You'd also know Jeremy from Piper Creek Band.
Yes.
And he is such an incredible videographer as well. So he came along and did such a beautiful job, had Max there helping out as well, which was beautiful. And it was just such a fun day of really just having a great time. It was beautiful weather. We had a storm halfway through the day, which thankfully didn't affect any of the filming, which was great. But we just had so much fun. It was really wonderful. And Jeremy it was so fun.
I'm going to have to come next time. If you do film clips with gin in them, I'm happy. We'll be there.
I know.
Hard day's work.
You've got to enjoy, certain things in life, and gin
is relaxes you for the camera. Yeah. Oh, it looked like, and that's you saying that it actually looked like you guys were all just having fun. It didn't look like you were working at all.
That's my job, it's very cool. And having the band there as well, like they were just awesome. The guys, we all just had fun, and we're just trying to enjoy ourselves, that hopefully when people watch it, they can feel that we're enjoying ourselves.
When you because you started in 2020 in the middle of lockdown, when you go out to do a film clip, is that something that you find the hardest, or are you nervous with the camera, or is that something that you just find naturally as well, like with your singing?
I quite like it. I enjoy it. I find it really fun and just another creative outlet, I guess. And I love getting all glammed up and costumes and all that stuff. So I really love that side of it. I was more just nervous this time too, playing guitar on it, because I play it, but not like a lot of, there's some incredible guitarists out there, and I'd rather usually leave it to them to play, because, I sing, I do my thing. If they're amazing at guitar, let them play guitar, That's what I was most nervous about. I was like, oh, I have to actually play guitar on film, like, oh my goodness.
Got to really practice.
It was just awesome. That's what I was most nervous about. But once I got a few takes down, I relaxed into it, and and really enjoyed it. I thought, I've just got to enjoy it. Yes, it doesn't matter. Absolutely. Don't. I think we put too much pressure on ourselves sometimes and
We
can be,
do,
you know,
don't
our
we?
worst critic.
Especially in a song like Always First and in the setting that you're in, it is designed to be having fun and and people feed off of that because you're fun. You know, people enjoy it. They want to dance. They want to listen. They want to watch it and dream. So in a film clip like that, you do just have to let go and enjoy the process, don't you? Brendan
absolutely.
popped in and said that you are awesome and your songs are great. And Kaz said, Gin, me like too.
I wonder, has Kaz been up to Distillery Botanica?
Ooh.
That's what I wonder. You've
Have you
spent
been up there,
plenty of
Kaz?
time.
I'm going to have to taste this one day. Ooh. Now, what do you put in your gin? Do you have just tonic? Do you have a bit of lemon? What do you have in it?
My favourite is just gin, tonic, and a bit of lime. That's my go-to.
Lime.
Just simple, you know, just simple. I like lime in it, you know. I'm easily pleased with a nice G&T.
I like lime, or I like a little bit of orange in it. Just a slice like your lemon.
Oh,
I really like that. And if you
nice.
really want to be naughty and different, if you're having a cheese platter, a tiny, tiny bit of quince paste in it. Just a little bit because it's very sweet.
That's good. I have had a nice bit of with like orange and a little bit of rosemary is really nice as well.
I haven't had that.
Yeah. You're feeling adventurous.
Yes. Well, there we go. Maybe when we're in Tamworth, we might feel adventurous and do that. Because I think in Tamworth, we're actually going to want to drink in that heat.
I think we're going to need something refreshing, cooling.
There we go. It has the lime and the tonic. She hasn't been. Ooh. Maybe we'll have to do a taste test.
Yep. Chris, designated driver. He can have the tonic and lime.
You can have the tonic and lime. That's right. We could put a little bit of quince paste in there for you if you'd like to. Sorry. But yes, no, I usually am the driver too. I usually do drive because I like to come home. But what have you got planned for the rest of this year and into the next year? Have you got many more shows before the end of the year, or are you about to have a break? What are you thinking?
Only two more things to go before the end of this year. Next week, I'm doing a little songwriter night with Gina up here, Gina Jeffries, and some of her local artists and things like that, which is nice. And then also doing up on the Central Coast here, we have the Mingara Christmas carols, which I'm very excited to be performing.
You get to do this. I love Christmas carols.
I love Christmas carols. So I've got my gold sequin dress ready to go and going to sing some carols, which is going to be wonderful. So that will finish off the year really nicely, and then look ahead to Tamworth, which is only a couple of weeks later. You know, it's by the time you get to Christmas, Tamworth is just around.
It's a blink. Yeah, it's a blink and you're there. Yeah, you don't really get to calm down from Christmas, do you? And it's just back at it. I know.
Exactly. So head to Tamworth, have some fun up there, play in the fan zone, and just get to catch up with people, head to the awards. It's going to be great.
Really close to where I'll be. So we'll be able to catch up.
Very good. Well, I know that I'll be playing fan zone on, I think it's Friday the 20th, if I'm like the last Friday of the festival.
Yes, that's the 20th. Yep.
So I'll be playing there that day, which is very exciting. And then heading to February, I will have more to announce soon, but there might be a debut album on its way.
That sounds
not announcing specifically anything, but might just hint at it a little bit.
Tell you what, if there's ever a debut album release show, we might have to try and get up for that.
Yes, well, I'll definitely let you know.
Yes, we'll definitely have to do that. And Brendan just said you're absolutely right, Brendan. You've had a great 2022, and it started out so messy 2022, and then I feel like everyone's sort of forgotten those first month or two because we've crammed a whole year into sort of 6-7 months, haven't we? Of songs, music.
Absolutely. I just feel really grateful for all the support people have shown me and getting behind my music, listening to it, buying it, streaming it. You know, I just feel very, very lucky and grateful to be in a position that people are supporting me and that I can do what I love, you know, and get to keep living my dreams and playing music.
It's funny, isn't it? How many people in the world get to say, I actually live my dream?
I know. I feel very, very lucky.
Yes, and lots of people said album Yes, you've got lots of send me Tamworth gigs so I can try and get to see. Oh, yes. So are your Tamworth gigs fully announced yet? Are they confirmed?
Most of it, I'll pop it all up on my socials and things like that and make sure, but definitely the fan zone, I can, off the top of my head, I think it's the Friday, 9:30 a.m. Peel Street fan
nice,
zone
before
stage.
it gets too hot. Before it gets too hot.
I know, which I'm very, very grateful for.
What do you do in Tamworth? Do you have a fan on stage? Not that I think a fan would do much, but I mean, sometimes singing and in that heat, you'd feel really sick and hot. And yeah.
As long as you've got water, I think it's better than being in torrential rain,
Yeah, true.
I don't mind the heat. I think when you're in the moment, you're in your zone. I more feel for people that are sitting and watching. I feel for them if they're sitting in the sun and it's hot and so I think we get it a lot easier than people that are there just, enjoying it, and having fun and yeah. I think just the biggest reminder is drink lots of water, bring your caps, and stay
definitely. If you forget your caps, there's so many of us that have merch with caps, so you won't have to worry if you do forget them. Are you going to have merch at your shows this year? Have you got merch for us to look at?
Yes, I actually just ordered some new stuff, which I'll be able to be selling in the new year. I'm just waiting for it to arrive actually, which is very exciting. So I'll have some new things, hopefully by Tamworth if they come in time. But I'll have plenty of bits and pieces at the fan zone stage and around the place. So I'd love to see, come say hi. If you see me, come say g'day, come visit me at the stage, and it will just be really nice to catch up with everyone. And yes, of course, Chris, always the Toyota hats.
True, very true. And they're really good actually. The Toyota hats are actually really good. So definitely. Well, thank you so much, Courtney. I know that we're always so happy to have you on the show, and we always have a lot of fun. But thank you for joining us this year. It's the end of the year. We've got 31 days to go, and it's gone. But we will see you early in January, and I hope you have a lovely Christmas and get a week to rest.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Danni. And I'm so grateful for you having me on the show throughout the year and taking the chance to chat and catch up. And I know we always talk like there's no tomorrow. So see you at Tamworth and properly catch up. But I'm really grateful for the support and everyone that tunes in. I can't thank you guys enough.
And you guys are wonderful. And just before we do go, have you been looking, Courtney? You might be wanting some votes to the People's Choice Award, the ones that they're pinned to the top of the page. So if you haven't already, today is the last day to vote. So you can vote for Country Kickback in the last one on the form, and you can vote for Courtney Keil in lots of spots on that form. There's lots of different ones. There's film clip, there's female, there's new talent, there's all sorts of things. So you can vote for many of us on that form, but you have to get it in tonight. So have a look at the top of the Facebook page, and if you click on that link, it will take you straight to it. So vote, because if you're in Tamworth, we would love to see you at these events and be able to start, showing some awards for all the support that you guys have given us and what we've done. So.
Absolutely. Thank you for everything you do, Danni. So grateful, and have a great Christmas. It's December tomorrow.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
I hope Santa comes. All right, everybody. We'll see you all. I think we will be back. I know we'll be back next week on Monday. We've got Scarlett's Way joining us on Monday. In the meantime, I'm having tomorrow night off. I'm heading up to see Keith Urban play, which is just going to be terrible. Just have to do it. Someone has to.
Oh my gosh, that's going to be so good. I'm jealous.
Have you seen him live before?
2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
we all love him.
Isn't he great? So I am very excited to go and get to actually spend some time at a gig for fun, which will be interesting because I don't do that very often. Don't think we all do we? We all end up working. So if you're going to Keith Urban on Saturday night in Brisbane, come and say hi because I'll be down there. I'll have a dance and we can just relax and enjoy it. But yeah, thank you so much, Courtney. We'll see you very early in the new year.
Yay! See you later, guys.
Bye.